The Science of Self-Reflection, Deepening Self-Awareness. Introduction, a journey into self-discovery. In the quiet moments of life, have you ever found yourself wondering about the vast landscape within, about the hidden paths and truths that lie just beneath the surface of your everyday awareness? This book is an invitation to delve into the depths of that inner landscape, to explore the vastness of thought, feeling, and insight that resides within each of us. It is not merely a journey into knowledge but an invitation to self-discovery, a practice that requires as much courage as curiosity, as much reflection as resolve. Through the art of self-reflection, we find not only clarity but also a deeper connection to the truths that shape our lives. This journey is one that will illuminate hidden aspects of ourselves, helping us to see both the challenges we face and the immense potential we carry. Self-reflection, the central theme of this book, is both a science and an art. It involves understanding not only the patterns that guide our minds but also the subtle art of navigating these patterns with purpose and clarity. When we approach our inner world with sincerity, we uncover the beliefs and habits that quietly shape our reality. We begin to see how thoughts influence our emotions, how emotions drive actions, and how actions create our experiences. By cultivating this awareness, we gain the power to reshape these patterns, to replace habitual reactions with thoughtful responses, and to align our inner landscape with our truest desires and values. In essence, self-reflection is the key to living with intention and awareness, transforming not just what we do but how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. Each chapter in this book is a step deeper into that journey, designed to gently guide you through the layers of self-awareness. This journey will draw upon timeless philosophies, from Eastern wisdom to Stoic practices, as well as insights from modern psychology, blending them into an approach that is both reflective and practical. The principles here are neither novel nor trendy but are drawn from enduring truths that have guided seekers of knowledge for centuries. They are intended to serve as stepping stones, guiding you to a place where you can uncover your inner clarity and strength. With each chapter, you will explore a new aspect of self-reflection, a new lens through which to view your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. This is not a journey of quick fixes or surface solutions. Rather, it is a commitment to deeper self-awareness, a gentle but profound shift in perspective that empowers you to live with purpose and peace. Each chapter will present insights into common internal experiences, those challenges that often go unspoken but shape our lives nonetheless. From the persistent narratives that we unknowingly carry to the desire for control in a world of uncertainty, this book will help you navigate these themes with curiosity and compassion. And while it may not provide all the answers, it will offer the questions and reflections that can lead you to find answers within yourself. As you embark on this journey, approach each chapter with an open mind and heart. The process of self-reflection is one of continuous discovery, where each insight builds upon the last, leading you gently but surely toward greater clarity. In the final chapter, you will find an integrative exercise designed to bring these teachings together, a practice that will help solidify the inner transformation that you have cultivated throughout the book. This book is an offering, a guide to thought, and a gentle nudge toward your truest self. Let each chapter be a mirror, a question, and a reminder of the immense potential within you, inviting you to explore the uncharted territories of your inner world and emerge with a deeper understanding of who you truly are. Before we start, if you're here to grow and tap into something deeper, like and subscribe. Your support helps us awaken other minds and continue sharing these insights with those seeking transformation. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Chapter 1. The Power of Self-Inquiry, the Gateway to Inner Understanding. What does it mean to truly know oneself? For many, life moves in a series of reactions, a stream of habits and routines that shapes each day in familiar patterns. Yet, beneath these patterns lies a vast realm of unexplored thoughts, beliefs, and desires, waiting to be noticed, questioned, and understood. Self-inquiry is the simple yet profound act of asking ourselves questions that reveal what lies beneath the surface. It is the gateway to understanding the forces that silently guide our actions and influence our responses. Through self-inquiry, we step into the role of an observer, taking a step back from our thoughts and emotions to examine them with curiosity rather than judgment. This subtle shift from reacting to reflecting opens the door to a deeper understanding of who we are and what drives us. Self-inquiry is not about interrogation or judgment. It is about holding space for our thoughts and emotions to reveal themselves. When practiced with patience and openness, it allows us to see our mental landscape more clearly, unveiling patterns and assumptions that we may not have realized were there. In ancient philosophies and modern psychology alike, this form of self-examination is revered as a powerful tool for cultivating awareness. In Stoic philosophy, the practice of observing one's thoughts was essential for living a virtuous life. Eastern traditions, too, have long held that understanding oneself through meditation and reflection is the path to inner peace. When we ask ourselves, "Why do I think or feel this way?" or "What is the root of this belief?" we begin to peel back layers of conditioning, revealing insights that may have been obscured by routine thought patterns. Consider this. How often do you find yourself in the grip of a recurring thought or feeling, unable to escape its influence? Perhaps it's a sense of inadequacy, a lingering fear, or a hidden resentment. We often accept these recurring thoughts as just the way things are, allowing them to shape our reality without question. But self-inquiry gives us a tool to pause and ask, is this thought or feeling truly reflective of who I am, or is it a product of my past experiences and conditioning? By probing deeper, we can begin to discern between thoughts that serve us and those that do not, gaining the ability to let go of those that no longer align with our true selves. It's as if we are clearing away mental clutter, allowing the mind to breathe and expand in newfound freedom. Self-inquiry also brings to light the underlying beliefs that fuel our thought patterns. Many of these beliefs are inherited, often unconsciously absorbed from family, culture, and past experiences. By questioning these beliefs, we start to understand their origins and see how they have shaped our perceptions. For instance, a belief in scarcity, such as the fear that there is never enough time, or not enough success to go around, can color our entire worldview, making us act from a place of lack rather than abundance. Through gentle self-inquiry, we can identify these beliefs, understanding how they limit us and considering how we might replace them with perspectives that align with our current values and aspirations. As we explore self-inquiry, let us consider one recurring thought or feeling in our lives. What might it reveal if we viewed it through the lens of curiosity instead of judgment? Ask yourself, what does this thought say about the way I see myself or the world? And let the answer unfold naturally, without force. This is not an exercise in criticism but in gentle understanding. Each layer you uncover brings you closer to a clearer, more authentic self, allowing you to navigate life with greater awareness and intention. In the chapters to follow, we will continue to explore the transformative power of self-reflection, building on these insights to deepen our journey toward mental clarity and resilience. Let this first step of self-inquiry be a doorway, opening you to a richer, more profound connection with the wisdom within. Chapter 2. Recognizing Inner Narratives, Understanding Self-Created Stories. What stories do we carry about who we are and what is possible in our lives? We all have inner narratives that shape how we see ourselves, others, and the world around us. These stories, crafted by experiences, beliefs, and the words of those around us, often feel as though they are set in stone. Yet, many of them are simply perspectives, constructs that we have unknowingly chosen to believe as absolute truth. These inner narratives can empower us, or they can limit us. The key lies in recognizing them, understanding their origins, and discerning whether they are stories that serve our highest potential or ones that hold us back. To recognize these narratives, we must observe the thoughts that replay in our minds when we face challenges or when our actions don't align with our intentions. For instance, you might hear a voice that says, "I'm not good enough for this," or "things like this never work out for me." These thoughts may seem harmless at first, yet when repeated over time, they become deeply embedded beliefs that color every aspect of our lives. It's as if they create a lens through which we view reality, shaping our responses and expectations without us even realizing it. When we uncover these stories, we gain the power to rewrite them, transforming old patterns of limitation into narratives of possibility. Imagine someone who, as a child, was often told they were shy or quiet. This label, innocently given, can easily evolve into a narrative where they believe they're not outgoing, that they're somehow less confident than others. As adults, they may find themselves avoiding opportunities or social situations, all because of a story that was crafted in the past and has remained unexamined. The power of recognizing inner narratives is that we can finally see these stories for what they are, constructions of the mind. When we observe these stories with curiosity rather than attachment, we begin to understand that we are not bound to them. We have the choice to let them go or to rewrite them in a way that reflects our true potential. Recognizing these self-created stories also brings a sense of liberation. It allows us to break free from the confines of past identities and expand into new ways of being. We might start to ask ourselves, what if this story isn't true? What if there is more to me than this label? These questions open up space for transformation, giving us permission to be more than we once thought we could be. Each time we challenge an old narrative, we create an opportunity to replace it with a story that empowers us, a story that aligns with who we are becoming rather than who we have been told we are. Consider the narratives you carry with you each day. What stories do you tell yourself about your strengths, your relationships, or your abilities? Are these stories a true reflection of who you are now, or are they echoes from a past that no longer fits? Recognize that you are the author of your inner narratives, and with awareness, you have the power to write a new story that honors your growth and potential. As we move forward in this journey, each chapter will build upon these insights, guiding you to dismantle limitations and to cultivate a mindset that reflects your truest self. Allow this awareness to settle within you as we continue to explore the art of inner transformation and self-mastery. Chapter 3: Embracing Change, Releasing the Need for Certainty. Why does change, that inevitable companion of life, so often fill us with apprehension? It's natural to seek stability and predictability. Our minds are wired to find comfort in the familiar. Yet, life is an ever-flowing river, with currents that shift and surprise us at every turn. Our resistance to change stems from the need for certainty, a feeling of control over outcomes and the security it brings. But what if true security lies not in resisting change but in embracing it? By learning to flow with life's unpredictability, we can transform change from a source of fear into a catalyst for growth. To embrace change is to surrender to life's natural rhythm, to trust that every shift, whether welcomed or uninvited, has something to teach us. When we cling to certainty, we narrow our perception, attempting to keep things as they are. But the reality is that growth often occurs outside of our comfort zones, where the soil is untested and the familiar patterns no longer apply. This is where the potential for true transformation lies. By releasing our attachment to certainty, we open ourselves to life's infinite possibilities, many of which remain hidden until we are willing to let go. Consider a time when change brought discomfort or unease. Perhaps it was a job transition, the end of a relationship, or a shift in your surroundings. In the moment, it might have felt like a loss or a step backward, but with time, you may have come to see the ways it allowed you to grow or discover something new about yourself. Change, while unsettling, often carries a hidden gift, a chance to re-evaluate what truly matters and to shed what no longer serves us. It's as if life, in its wisdom, continually nudges us toward alignment, guiding us to explore paths we might not have chosen otherwise. Embracing change requires a mindset of openness and trust, qualities that deepen our resilience. When we trust that each change holds value, we release the need to control every outcome. We learn to listen to the cues within us and around us, noticing the natural ebb and flow of life rather than resisting it. Trusting change doesn't mean that we don't feel fear or discomfort. Rather, it means we acknowledge these feelings without allowing them to dictate our actions. With trust, we can step into the unknown with courage, knowing that each experience, no matter how uncertain, is part of a larger unfolding that has the potential to enrich our lives. What if, instead of fearing change, we welcomed it as a teacher? How might this shift in perspective alter the way we approach life's transitions, both big and small? Imagine approaching each change with curiosity rather than resistance, seeing it as an opportunity for insight and growth. Embracing change doesn't mean we become passive. Rather, it invites us to engage fully with the present moment, adapting and evolving along the way. As we continue this journey together, remember that change is a constant companion, and by releasing the need for certainty, we invite a greater sense of freedom and alignment with life's ever-unfolding mystery. Chapter 4. Breaking Free from Labels, Moving Beyond Self-Definitions. Have you ever noticed the countless ways we define ourselves? By our job titles, roles, experiences, even the expectations others place upon us. These labels, often adopted unconsciously, become like layers of clothing we wear every day. They offer a semblance of identity, a sense of belonging, and even comfort. Yet, as we journey inward, we begin to see that these labels can act as limitations, confining us to specific ways of thinking and being. They are not the entirety of who we are. Rather, they represent fragments of our experiences. But how often do we mistake them for the whole? Each label we accept as our own becomes like a frame around a painting. It directs our perspective, constraining what we see and limiting how we interpret ourselves and the world around us. Perhaps you identify as a caretaker or a leader, and while these identities hold value, they risk becoming restrictive when we start to believe they define our entirety. The truth is that the self is dynamic, shifting and evolving with every experience. Just as a river is never the same at any given moment, our essence remains in constant flow, changing with time and circumstance. By viewing labels as temporary descriptions rather than fixed identities, we open ourselves to the fullness of our potential. The journey of self-discovery calls us to examine the labels we've accepted, both those we've chosen and those placed upon us by others. Reflecting on these identities, we may find that some empower us, while others feel burdensome or even false. Often, these labels come from external influences, societal expectations, family roles, past experiences. Yet, as we grow, the things that once defined us can start to feel like barriers rather than reflections of who we truly are. Recognizing this allows us to question, who am I beneath these labels? This question serves as an invitation to reconnect with the core self, that part of us that is untethered and free. Breaking free from labels is not about denying our past or disregarding our strengths. It's about embracing the full spectrum of who we are, beyond the names and roles. Imagine shedding these layers, one by one, until only the essence remains. In this state, we connect with a sense of inner wholeness that isn't bound by roles or expectations. It's here, in this openness, that we find the freedom to explore new aspects of ourselves, to take risks, to express thoughts and emotions we might have held back. When we are no longer defined by a single identity, life becomes a canvas of endless potential. What might it feel like to live without labels? To see yourself not as a fixed role but as a constantly unfolding mystery? As you reflect on the roles and identities you hold, ask yourself, which of these truly serve me, and which hold me back? The answer may surprise you. Embracing a fluid sense of identity allows us to evolve naturally, to meet each moment with fresh eyes and an open heart. As we continue this exploration of self-awareness, remember that our essence is vast, immeasurable, and unrestricted by labels. To truly know ourselves, we must be willing to step beyond definitions, embracing the boundless potential of our ever-unfolding self. Chapter 5. The Illusion of Control, Finding Peace in Surrender. Is it possible to hold everything in life with a loose grip? We spend much of our lives trying to manage, predict, and control outcomes, clutching tightly to expectations and timelines. From an early age, we're taught that control equates to security, that with enough willpower and planning, we can avoid discomfort, failure, and unpredictability. Yet, life has a way of humbling even the most determined of us, revealing that the need for control is often rooted in a fear of the unknown. What if true peace lies not in the endless pursuit of control but in the art of letting go? Consider the ebb and flow of the ocean tides. They neither resist nor try to control their direction. They simply rise and fall in response to forces beyond themselves. In a similar way, our lives are shaped by a combination of our actions, choices, and influences beyond our understanding. When we release the need to control every detail, we create space for life's natural rhythm to unfold. This doesn't mean abandoning our responsibilities or goals. Rather, it means trusting that we don't need to know or manage every step of the way. Surrendering is not weakness. It's the strength of acknowledging our part within a greater design. The desire for control often arises from a fundamental need to feel safe. When we try to predict and manage every outcome, we create an illusion of stability. Yet, this desire can become a source of tension and disappointment when things don't go as planned. Imagine trying to control the direction of the wind. No amount of effort or focus will alter its course. The only peace lies in adjusting our sails, adapting to the flow rather than fighting it. In life, this means accepting that some things will remain beyond our influence, allowing us to direct our energy toward what we can change: our responses, our attitudes, and our presence. Surrendering control allows us to experience a profound shift. We become more present, more open to the unexpected, and less weighed down by worry. When we release our tight grip on outcomes, we begin to notice the beauty of life's unfolding in real time. Opportunities and insights often arise when we least expect them, as if surrender creates the space for life to fill with surprises. In this state of openness, we find ourselves living in harmony with life's natural ebb and flow, moving not from a place of force but of willingness and trust. So, what would it look like to live without the constant need to control? What might you gain from loosening your grip on the things you hold most tightly? As you reflect, consider the places in your life where you strive for control, and ask yourself, what would happen if I allowed this area to unfold naturally? The answer may reveal a newfound sense of freedom, peace, and clarity. Remember that life is an intricate balance of action and surrender. In giving up control, we are not abandoning our path. We are embracing the beauty of a journey that unfolds with every step, beyond our need to steer. Chapter 6. Facing the Shadow Self, Acknowledging Hidden Aspects of the Mind. What parts of ourselves do we prefer to keep hidden? We all carry within us aspects that remain in the shadows. Traits, thoughts, and impulses we deny or suppress, aspects we may even fear. Known in psychology as the shadow self, these hidden aspects of our personality often represent qualities we've deemed unacceptable, unworthy, or troubling. But by pushing them away, we don't eliminate their influence. We simply lose awareness of how they shape our lives. What might happen if we embraced these hidden parts and allowed them to teach us? The shadow self is not an enemy but an essential part of our wholeness. Like the dark side of the moon, it's ever present, influencing us in subtle ways even if unseen. Every time we react disproportionately or experience recurring conflicts, the shadow is likely at play. It shows up in our envy, anger, defensiveness, or guilt, urging us to confront the unresolved within. By acknowledging these reactions without judgment, we begin to integrate the shadow's wisdom. This process is challenging, for it requires honesty and courage, but it also opens the door to profound self-understanding. Imagine an iceberg, with its tip visible above the water and the vast majority hidden below. The shadow self is the submerged portion, composed of the traits and tendencies we find uncomfortable to acknowledge. Yet, just as the strength of the iceberg lies in its hidden mass, our personal power increases when we recognize and accept these parts. When we do so, the shadow loses its grip, and we transform impulses into intentional actions. By shedding light on the shadow, we bring balance and awareness to areas previously controlled by fear and suppression. Embracing the shadow involves self-compassion, for these hidden traits are often tied to our past wounds and vulnerabilities. We may have learned, consciously or unconsciously, that certain qualities were wrong or unlovable, so we buried them to protect ourselves. But no aspect of the self is inherently unworthy. Each has its purpose. Even jealousy or anger, when recognized and understood, can guide us to deeper truths about our needs, values, and boundaries. Facing the shadow invites us to reclaim these hidden aspects with love, turning them from obstacles into allies on our path. As you reflect on your shadow, consider the qualities or traits you tend to reject or conceal. What might they reveal if you allowed yourself to explore them without judgment? Could these shadow aspects hold lessons, gifts, or strengths? By welcoming them, you begin a journey toward greater wholeness. The shadow is not a force to be defeated but a part of your inner landscape. In integrating these hidden facets, you step closer to the completeness of self-awareness, where every aspect has its place, purpose, and power. If this audiobook is sparking new insights for you, show some love by hitting like and subscribing. Let me know in the comments what resonates with you the most so far. I'd love to hear your thoughts as we go deeper. Chapter 7. Uncovering Inner Truth, Listening to the Voice of Intuition. In a world that often celebrates logic and analysis, how often do we pause to honor the quiet voice of intuition? This inner guidance, sometimes called the still, small voice, offers insights that transcend reasoning. Unlike the mind's chatter, intuition speaks in whispers, subtle feelings, or gut instincts that can guide us when logic reaches its limits. But to hear it, we must first learn to trust it. What might we discover if we let intuition lead the way? Intuition is the mind's bridge to deeper wisdom, a knowing that comes from beyond conscious thought. Ancient philosophies often describe intuition as a link to the higher self, the part of us connected to universal truths. This guidance doesn't come from analysis or mental effort but from a source that simply knows. By tuning into this voice, we access insight that reveals paths we may not have seen or solutions we could not have calculated. Yet, many of us silence intuition, questioning its validity or fearing its guidance. Reconnecting with it requires trust and the willingness to let go of rigid control. Imagine your mind as a lake. When calm, it reflects the sky perfectly, capturing the clouds and stars above. But when the waters are disturbed, the reflection is lost. Intuition thrives in stillness, when the mind is quiet enough to let it surface. To cultivate this stillness, we must practice slowing down, making space for moments of quiet where intuition can arise naturally. Over time, we begin to recognize its distinct voice, which often feels clear and immediate, more of a sense than a sentence. Learning to listen is about learning to recognize the difference between intuition and mental noise. Following intuition may feel risky because it defies linear logic. It might lead us down an unfamiliar path, challenging us to trust what we cannot yet see. But intuition has a way of leading us to where we need to go, often in unexpected ways. Consider a time when you followed an inner nudge without fully understanding why. Perhaps you avoided a situation, only to learn later it would have caused harm, or you felt drawn to an opportunity that became transformative. Intuition operates from a vantage point beyond the immediate. It connects us to a broader perspective that aligns with our highest good. As you reflect on intuition's role in your life, consider moments when you listened to this quiet guidance and when you ignored it. What were the outcomes? What patterns do you notice? Reconnecting with intuition is not about eliminating reason but about balancing it with deeper knowing. When you honor this inner voice, you step into a more harmonious flow, moving with rather than against the currents of life. In learning to trust intuition, you not only deepen your connection with yourself but also strengthen your alignment with the wisdom that flows through all things. Chapter 8. Resilience and Adaptability. Strengthening the mind in adversity. What is it within us that rises when life becomes challenging, that steady inner resolve that keeps us moving forward despite obstacles? Resilience is this quiet strength, the mental and emotional endurance to withstand adversity and continue onward. While life's uncertainties may unsettle us, resilience and adaptability allow us to navigate these waters with grace. In a world that constantly shifts, these qualities become essential not just to survive but to thrive. How might we foster resilience within ourselves, becoming adaptable to change without losing our sense of purpose? Resilience begins as a state of mind, a perspective that sees challenges not as hindrances but as opportunities for growth. Stoic philosophers often taught that adversity is a teacher, providing the lessons we need to develop our character and strength. In every setback, there is potential wisdom, and by adopting this perspective, we turn difficulties into fuel for self-development. When we choose to see challenges this way, we become less fragile, finding a center within ourselves that remains steady regardless of the storms around us. Instead of resisting or fearing change, we learn to adapt, understanding that flexibility is not a weakness but a profound strength. Adaptability, the sister of resilience, allows us to flow with life's natural ebb and tide, responding to change with openness rather than rigidity. Think of a tree that bends with the wind. It doesn't resist, for resistance would cause it to break. Instead, it adapts, flexes, and allows the wind to pass. In our lives, adaptability means accepting change, even when it challenges us or disrupts our plans. It's the ability to shift our approach when circumstances require it, learning to let go of what no longer serves us and embracing new paths. By cultivating adaptability, we become more resilient, finding harmony in movement rather than in stillness. Resilience is also rooted in self-trust, the confidence that we have the inner resources to overcome what comes our way. When we believe in our capacity to handle adversity, we are less likely to be overwhelmed by it. This confidence does not mean we must have all the answers or solutions, but rather that we trust our ability to figure things out as we go. Each experience, each challenge we face and overcome, strengthens this trust, creating a foundation of resilience that supports us in future trials. Just as a muscle strengthens through repeated effort, resilience grows with each test we face and meet. Reflect on a recent challenge and the ways you adapted to it. How did this experience strengthen you? What did it teach you about your capacity to endure and adjust? By examining our responses to adversity, we uncover the resilience that often goes unrecognized within us. These reflections remind us that resilience is not an end state but an ongoing practice, an active commitment to growth, strength, and adaptability. Each challenge faced, each moment of flexibility, reinforces our capacity to rise above difficulties, meeting life's changes with courage and a steady heart. Chapter 9. The Role of Patience, Allowing Space for Growth. In a world that often values immediacy and rapid results, patience can feel like a forgotten virtue. Yet, patience is a quiet but powerful force that allows true growth to unfold in its own time. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, our goals and aspirations need time and nurturing. Patience is the willingness to wait without forcing outcomes, to trust in the process of becoming rather than rushing toward a result. It is a state of mind that honors the natural rhythm of life, allowing growth to happen at its own pace. Patience teaches us to trust in what we cannot yet see, to hold space for possibilities that are not immediately visible. It asks us to relinquish our tight grip on control, to believe in the value of persistence even when progress seems slow or hidden. Ancient philosophies often speak of patience as an act of surrender, not as a passive waiting but as a confident expectation that things will unfold as they should. This trust is empowering, reminding us that while we may plant the seeds and tend to the soil, nature does the growing. In our lives, this perspective helps us accept that not all growth is visible at once and that some of the most profound transformations happen gradually, beyond immediate perception. Patience also nurtures self-compassion, allowing us to be gentle with ourselves and our journey. When we are patient, we give ourselves permission to make mistakes, to stumble, and to learn. Instead of demanding perfection or instant mastery, we allow ourselves to be in process, recognizing that growth is not linear and that setbacks are part of the path. This gentle acceptance encourages resilience and fosters a mindset where each step, no matter how small or delayed, is seen as a meaningful part of our journey. By practicing patience with ourselves, we create a supportive inner environment that fuels our personal and spiritual growth. Being patient is not the same as being passive. Rather, it is an active engagement in the present, grounded in trust and openness to the future. When we are patient, we don't withdraw from our goals or give up on our desires. Instead, we engage fully in each moment, confident that our efforts will yield results when the time is right. This mindset transforms our relationship with time, teaching us that waiting is not about passivity but about alignment with life's natural flow. We continue to work toward our goals, but we do so with a sense of calm and faith, free from the anxiety that can come with forced urgency. Reflect on a time when impatience may have led you to push too hard or too fast, and consider how approaching that situation with patience might have changed the outcome. How would it feel to release the need for immediate results and instead trust in the process of gradual growth? In embracing patience, we cultivate an inner strength that allows us to move forward without rushing, to be present without urgency. Patience is the quiet power that supports all growth, an invitation to nurture our dreams with the calm assurance that they will bloom when the time is ripe. Chapter 10. Reclaiming Personal Power, Becoming the Author of Your Life. Every one of us has the potential to reclaim our personal power, to step into a space of intentionality and choice, where we become the authors of our own lives. Yet, so often, we unknowingly surrender this power, by conforming to others' expectations, by adopting limiting beliefs, or by feeling bound to circumstances that feel beyond our control. To reclaim personal power is to recognize that we are not passive participants in our own lives. Rather, we have the ability, and indeed the responsibility, to shape our experiences and direct our paths with purpose. One of the most empowering realizations is that we always have a choice. While we may not control every circumstance, we can choose how we respond to each situation, and in doing so, we reclaim our agency. Choices are expressions of our beliefs, desires, and values, and when we make choices that align with our true selves, we reinforce our sense of inner authority. This does not mean we dismiss or disregard external influences but that we listen inward, discerning our truth amid the voices of others. Choosing to honor our own values, regardless of external pressures, is an act of reclaiming personal power. Our thoughts are also a critical part of this journey. Much of our personal power lies in the mind, in the beliefs we hold, the stories we tell ourselves, and the way we view the world. By becoming mindful of our mental habits, we can begin to reshape these patterns in ways that serve us rather than limit us. Reclaiming personal power involves choosing thoughts that affirm our worth, potential, and freedom. It means replacing self-doubt with self-trust, recognizing that every thought is a building block of our reality. As we reshape our mental narrative, we also reshape our world, empowering ourselves from within. Being the author of our life also involves taking full responsibility for our actions and decisions. This can be daunting, as it means owning our mistakes and acknowledging the times we may have acted out of alignment with our values. But it also means celebrating our achievements, recognizing our strengths, and honoring the courage it takes to forge our own path. When we take responsibility, we no longer see ourselves as victims of circumstance. Instead, we become creators, realizing that each decision, each intention, is a brushstroke on the canvas of our life. Through this perspective, we transform challenges into opportunities for growth and self-empowerment. Reflect on an area in your life where you feel a sense of powerlessness, and consider what it would look like to reclaim your power in this space. What beliefs, choices, or actions might help you feel more in control of your path? As you begin to reclaim your power, notice how this shift influences your sense of freedom and purpose. Remember, you are the author of your life, capable of creating a narrative that aligns with your highest vision. By embracing this truth, you not only reclaim your personal power but also cultivate a life that feels truly your own. Chapter 11. Embracing Silence, Finding Clarity in Stillness. In a world overflowing with constant stimuli, the art of silence has become a rare treasure. Silence offers us a space untouched by external influence, a space where clarity emerges, where the mind can settle into its natural state of awareness. Embracing silence is not merely the absence of sound. It is the presence of inner stillness, a gateway to self-connection and understanding. When we allow ourselves to sit in silence, we create a sanctuary within, untouched by the demands and distractions of the outside world. This space holds the wisdom of clarity, enabling us to see ourselves and our lives with renewed perspective. Silence offers a powerful pause, one that invites us to reflect rather than react, to observe rather than judge. Often, our thoughts and emotions move rapidly, jumping from one topic to another, influenced by the latest external input. In silence, however, we begin to observe these mental currents without interference. We start to notice patterns and tendencies. Perhaps we observe an underlying restlessness or a persistent worry that has quietly influenced our actions. By watching rather than engaging, we gain insight into our inner workings. The practice of silence acts as a mirror, reflecting our true self back to us in a way that no external feedback can replicate. This inner stillness also connects us to a deeper knowing, what some call intuition or inner wisdom. In the noise of daily life, it's easy to lose touch with this voice, the subtle sense that whispers guidance aligned with our highest good. Silence nurtures this voice, allowing it to grow stronger and more clear. In this space, we reconnect with our own wisdom, gaining insights that are otherwise obscured by the noise of doubt or external expectations. Embracing silence, then, is not an escape from life but a return to a state of receptivity, where guidance flows naturally and without effort. Here, decisions can be made with greater confidence and ease, as they arise from a place of alignment rather than reaction. Silence also teaches us the invaluable lesson of acceptance. In the quiet, we may encounter thoughts and feelings we usually avoid, uncomfortable emotions, unresolved conflicts, or fears that have lingered in the background. While it can be tempting to distract ourselves from these encounters, silence offers us the courage to simply observe without judgment. This acceptance does not mean passivity. Rather, it is an act of allowing what is present to simply be. By sitting with our thoughts and feelings as they arise, we free ourselves from resistance and gain a greater sense of inner peace. In this acceptance, we create room for transformation, as the energies we once fought against now have the space to evolve naturally. Consider how embracing silence might transform your own life. Where might you create moments of stillness each day, offering yourself the chance to reconnect and recharge? As you practice, observe how silence shifts your relationship with yourself and others, bringing a newfound sense of clarity, calm, and purpose. Remember, silence is a doorway to inner wisdom and peace, a sanctuary that is always available to you. By embracing it, you open yourself to a deeper, more grounded understanding of who you are and the path you wish to walk. Chapter 12. The Practice of Gratitude, Transforming Perspective. Gratitude is often regarded as a simple practice, something easily overlooked in the quest for more profound or transformative experiences. Yet, this seemingly modest practice holds the power to reshape our perception and reorient our lives toward abundance and contentment. To live with gratitude is to see the world through a lens of appreciation, recognizing each experience, each connection, and each moment as a gift. It invites us to focus not on what is lacking but on what is present, filling us with a sense of fullness and joy. Through gratitude, we access a richness that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, awakening us to the beauty woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. Gratitude shifts our awareness from scarcity to abundance, altering how we perceive our experiences. When we focus solely on what we lack or on what we wish were different, we create a sense of deficiency that colors our thoughts and emotions. This mindset of not enough affects every aspect of our lives, leading us to overlook the many blessings we already possess. By consciously choosing gratitude, however, we rewire our minds to recognize abundance in its myriad forms, whether it's a warm meal, a friend's laughter, a quiet morning, or a supportive relationship. Each of these moments, when acknowledged, becomes a reminder of life's generosity, reshaping our perception from scarcity to sufficiency. Gratitude also strengthens resilience, grounding us in a place of emotional stability even amidst challenges. Life will inevitably present us with difficulties, but gratitude serves as an anchor, helping us to find grace and strength in adversity. When we look for the lesson or the silver lining in a challenging situation, we allow gratitude to transform pain into growth, disappointment into wisdom, and setbacks into stepping stones. This practice does not deny the reality of hardship. Rather, it empowers us to navigate it with a heart that remains open and resilient. By cultivating gratitude, we remind ourselves that even in our struggles, there is something to be learned, something to appreciate, and something that enriches our journey. This practice of gratitude extends beyond the self, affecting our relationships and interactions with others. When we appreciate the people in our lives, we nurture a sense of connection and goodwill that enhances the quality of these relationships. Expressing gratitude toward others, whether through words or actions, strengthens bonds and fosters trust, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond the initial gesture. In this way, gratitude acts as a bridge, closing the gap between individuals and cultivating a community of shared appreciation and respect. As we become more aware of our interconnectedness, gratitude deepens our sense of belonging and reminds us of the support and kindness we both give and receive. Reflecting on gratitude invites us to consider our own lives and to see how the practice might shift our daily experience. Where might you be overlooking small moments of joy or kindness? How often do you take a step back to appreciate the people who bring value to your life or the opportunities that have come your way? When you begin to actively practice gratitude, you may notice a subtle yet profound transformation in your perspective. Life appears brighter, more vibrant, and more meaningful. The practice of gratitude does not change our circumstances. It changes our relationship to them, inviting us to live with a sense of abundance and open-heartedness that brings peace, fulfillment, and joy. As we reach the conclusion of this audiobook, if you found value here, hit like, subscribe, and don't forget to tap the bell notification so you never miss new content. Drop a comment below to share your biggest takeaway. How will you use these insights in your own journey? Your feedback means a lot and helps shape future content that matters to you. Final chapter: Integrating Self-Reflection, a Transformative Practice. As we reach the culmination of this journey, it is time to bring together the insights and perspectives that have shaped our path. Each chapter has unfolded a different aspect of self-reflection, inviting you to look deeply into the mind's intricacies and discover the vast potential that lies within. Now, the task is to weave these insights into a cohesive, integrated practice, one that you can carry with you as a foundation for lifelong growth and self-mastery. This final practice serves not merely as a reflection on past lessons but as a bridge toward a future guided by clarity, resilience, and profound self-awareness. To begin, find a quiet, comfortable space where you can connect with yourself without distraction. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and allow yourself to settle into a state of calm presence. Imagine that you are at the edge of an inner landscape, one you've explored throughout this journey, filled with the wisdom and understanding gained along the way. Each insight, be it about mental clarity, emotional resilience, or the power of gratitude, exists within this landscape, a place you can return to whenever you seek grounding or guidance. Now, let your mind gently revisit each concept explored. Start with self-inquiry, the foundation upon which all self-awareness is built. Ask yourself, what is my current state of mind? What thoughts, emotions, or beliefs are present within me at this moment? Allow any thoughts or feelings to arise without judgment, simply observing them as a witness. This moment of inquiry reaffirms your role as the observer, recognizing that you are not your thoughts but the awareness behind them. Notice how this practice creates space within the mind, a sense of openness where insights can naturally arise. Next, consider the inner narratives you have identified along the way, the stories you tell yourself about who you are, what you are capable of, and what limits you. In this moment of quiet reflection, choose one narrative that no longer serves you. Visualize this story as a thread of energy, something you can hold in your mind's eye. Gently release it, letting it dissolve and fade, as if it were a cloud drifting away. Allow yourself to feel the lightness that comes with letting go, the freedom that comes from shedding old identities. Affirm to yourself, I am open to growth and transformation. I am free to redefine my story. Now, turn your attention to the practice of gratitude. Allow yourself to recall moments, people, and experiences that have brought you joy, support, or growth. Let these memories wash over you, filling you with a sense of appreciation and warmth. Feel gratitude expand within you, connecting you to the richness of your journey and to the countless ways life has supported your growth. Hold on to this feeling, letting it settle deeply within, a reservoir of positivity and abundance that you can draw from whenever you face challenges or moments of doubt. Acknowledge that gratitude itself is a practice, one that transforms your perspective and enriches every aspect of your life. Finally, embrace the silence and stillness that surrounds you. In this space, allow yourself to integrate all you have learned, letting each insight merge seamlessly with the others, forming a unified sense of self. Imagine that each lesson is a part of a vast, intricate tapestry within you, woven together to create a balanced, whole, and resilient self. In this state of inner harmony, you are empowered to face life's challenges with clarity, adapt to change with grace, and embrace each day with a sense of purpose and peace. As you bring this practice to a close, take a moment to reflect on the journey you have undertaken. Commit to carrying forward these insights, not as isolated lessons but as an integrated approach to living with awareness, compassion, and strength. Let this be a guide for continued growth, a reminder that your path is one of continuous discovery and transformation. Embrace the wisdom you have uncovered within yourself and move forward with confidence, knowing that you have the tools to shape your life with intention, resilience, and joy.